Welcome back to the channel, folks. So, the brand new KTM Super Adventure S, is it a GS killer or not? Stay tuned to find out. Down in the dirt. So folks, the brand spanking new 2021 KTM Super Adventure S. Well, I've already done a first impressions video of this, which details much of the spec and what it's actually like to ride. So if you've not checked that out yet, make sure you watch that vid on the channel and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. So, the KTM Super Adventure S versus the current BMW R1250GS. When you look at the specs on paper, folks, they're fairly matched. The KTM has slightly more power at 160 bhp compared to the GS's 136, but the GS has more torque at 143 Nm compared to the KTM's 138. They're both roughly the same weight, around the 245-250 kg mark. The BMW is more economic, but it has a smaller tank. Both bikes have a 19-inch front wheel, the KTM is chain-driven, the BMW is a shafty, and when you spec both bikes out on the website identically, they're coming out at roughly the same price. Now, as you all know, I love my tractor, the BMW R1250GS. However, this new KTM is something pretty special. So is it a GS killer? Well, in this vid, I'm going to take you through all the various aspects that you'd expect from a modern adventure bike. So I'm going to do some off-road, yeah, you heard that right. I'll do a bit of Pillion with Mrs. Teapot and some general riding. And I'm going to meet up with a mate of mine, Matt, who owns the previous generation of the Super Adventure S. And I'll get his version on what he thinks, because he's ridden the new one as well. And we'll go from there. So let's get cracking, and let's start with Mrs. Teapot, since she's a hit.
I look like a gnome. He said I look like a gnome.
Could be a lot worse. Yeah, she's coming out for a wee hurl on the bike. That's a camera. Wave, John. Okay then, people. Pillion test. Mrs. Teapot is coming out for a little jaunt. Right there. Climb on board. Tell me what you think it's like getting on. I know it's terrible, those gloves, they're only like 2 years old. They're falling apart. So what's it like getting on board compared to the GS?
I'm not on yet, am I?
Right, right. What are you thinking? What's it feel like?
It's okay.
It's alright?
Yeah.
Easy enough to get on?
Well, you've only got your back box off the one, haven't you?
Yeah. Right, you ready?
Yeah, don't go fast.
I'm on a KTM, dear, I can't not go fast. Can you not hold on to the grip bars?
I can do, but let me just get... It's when you take off, it feels like you take off the back.
Yeah, let me change the mode then. So this the bike should automatically, let me put that into street. I'll put it in street mode, because it was in sport.
Do you have to put my weight in?
Do you have to? No, it should automatically, the suspension should automatically adjust. It's in street mode, which is still nice and punchy, but it's not as aggressive as sport in terms of acceleration and stuff, power delivery. What's the seat like?
Just a seat.
Is it comfortable? Is it not comfortable?
Feels alright.
Cool.
It feels like there's a little bit more room on it than there is on the other one.
What, more than the GS?
I think so.
Oh, right, okay.
Or maybe it's just because you've not got your bag on, so I'm not sitting as far back.
Yeah, good point. I normally wear my rucksack, don't I? Are you terrified, or does it feel okay?
No, I feel alright.
Cool.
It's just when you take off I don't like it, because it feels like I'm going to fly off the back.
Yeah, I get you. Once we get up to motorway speeds, tell me what the wind buffeting's like compared to the GS then.
The what?
The wind buffeting, you know, the turbulence off of the wind.
Oh, okay.
So that's us up to motorway speeds. How's that?
Fine, feels good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's very descriptive, my wife, isn't she?
It doesn't feel like you're sitting as high up as you do on the GS.
Right, that's the sort of stuff I need, babe. Right, good.
So you've got a bit more shielding from you.
Right. So does it feel more comfortable then on this? Or
Yeah,
about the same?
Like
or?
it. It's nice.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised at that. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the tractor would be more comfortable for you.
It's certainly better than the Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Oh, it's busy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Right, hold on tight here because I'll have to pull off quite quick.
Not for the first time.
Don't know what you mean, dear.
It is weird just not having the safety of that back box behind you.
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
Know what I mean? I don't lean on it, but just knowing it's there just gives you that little bit extra confidence.
Gotcha. This blooming indicator does my head in. Such a crap design.
The handles are bigger.
What, the side grab handles?
Yeah, they seem to be better to hang on to for some reason.
I'm just going to change the ride mode to... So we're in rain mode now, which is the most placid one.
But it's not splitting.
No, I just want to see if I can... Because the throttle delivery is quite abrupt. So which making you do that a lot. I can feel you. It's not as smooth as the GS is, so I can feel you moving about a lot more. Just trying to make it a little bit smoother for you.
Yeah.
That, to me, that feels less pronounced, definitely. How's that feel for you? Do you notice anything?
Not really.
No.
There, stop it. You're trying to get rid of me off the back.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in sport mode now. I've got to say, as the rider, I don't notice it at all with you on the back.
Oh, it's because I'm so light.
Yeah. The suspension really seems to take care of it. No problem at all. Doesn't feel any different really compared to when you're not on it. Except you're constantly either smacking into the back of my head or grabbing my fat love handles.
It doesn't feel as bad as what I thought it would.
Well, I've got to be honest, I'm toddling along here.
Yeah, I know, but like it's a lot more comfortable than it looks.
Okay, right.
Because when I saw it, you were like, oh, I've got to take you out. I was like, oh, not keen on that. But it's not so bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this. I was expecting this to be a little bit of a torturous experience for both of us, but it's been fine.
No, I'm alright. It feels like your legs are a little bit further down than on the GS.
Further down?
Like sometimes I feel like I'm getting a bit cramped on the GS.
Oh,
it
okay.
feels like my legs are a bit too high, but this just feels like
wow.
Sit in the chair.
I wasn't expecting that. See, this is the opposite. For me as the rider, it feels like the pegs are a little bit higher up than the GS.
I could have just made it up.
You just tell it how you see it. Tell it how you feel it. No, I know you did. Because you don't lie.
Don't tell fibs.
Subtle as a brick. So there we go, folks. You asked, we delivered. Pillion on the 2021 KTM Super Adventure S. Not half bad. So, what's it like off-road? Well, we have a bit of a track coming up here. Let's give it a bash. So, we need to whack it into the off-road option. That's something I don't like. Well, not that I don't like. Something which the GS has is literally there's like the mode button right there on the bars. You can just bang 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 change it on the hoof, no problem. With this you've got to go through the menu options here. So suspension mode, put that in, off-road, and that is us. Now I know you could probably set that on your favourites here with your C1, C2, so you could just tap that, then use this to change it, but it's just much quicker, more straightforward on the tractor. Oh, geez, I've never ever been up this, so let's give it a bash. Can't say I'm looking forward to this. Straight away, stood up on the pegs on the KTM. It is not as sort of reassuring as the tractor is for me. You know, I'm 6'3". It just feels like the bike's that little bit lower down, whereas the GS, the tank, you're sort of wrapped around it. Whoa. Whoa. So I'm probably going to sit down on this because this is not my cup of tea. Oh Jesus, how much more of this have we got to do? So suspension feels fine, it's eating all this up, a lot of loose rocks, but yeah, I've got to admit it feels absolutely fine. Some bigger stuff up here. Now those of you out there who know what they're doing off-road, you're going to be laughing at this, but for me, you know, this is well and truly outside my comfort zone. But the bike It's just eating it up, no problems. Gotta admit, that felt pretty damn good. That is about as much off-roading as I am doing for you on this. So, people, now we have Matthew. Now, Matthew has last year's... Oh, you're so last year, Matthew.
Well, no, I think it's a...
68, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a 17 though. I think it was
So it's a late 2017 KTM Super Adventure S. Now, Matthew has ridden this new one, so I thought it would be a good opportunity from the horse's mouth, from someone that actually owns the previous model, to see what he thinks. So we're going to go for a little ride, and Matthew can tell you yay or nay. Matthew. Matthew. Matt, innit, mate?
Yes, bruv.
We are in... Yes, bruv. And we are in beautiful fishing field, where we've just had a cup of splosh. And we'll have a little chat. My phone's running out, so I've got to charge it up. This hasn't got USB, is it?
Yeah, it's in that little flap underneath the...
Yeah, but you can't run the cable out. Can you do that on yours, can you?
Because I've got the...
Oh, you've got 12 volt.
And then there's a... What's it in there as well?
Is that 12 volt?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry, that's USB, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a USB in there.
That's an actual phone holder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's snazzy. Why haven't they got that on this then?
I think that box on the top is the replacement version of it.
Well, this thing?
Yeah, I think there's a USB plug in there.
Yeah, there is. But if you're like me and you use that as your sat nav,
yeah,
you know, you can't see it then.
Yeah, you can't plug it in.
So
is there not one under the clocks then?
No, there's a 12 volt one under the clocks. Shall we?
Yeah, why not?
God, this does feel low down. So Matt, you own the previous gen Super Adventure S, and you've also ridden this version, the brand new version. What do you think between the two?
At first I wasn't impressed.
What, with the new one?
Yeah, not enough to buy one.
Right.
Spend more money on an upgrade, put it that way.
Gotcha. Not a big enough step up to warrant the...
Yeah, I was a bit sort of underwhelmed for what was all fucked about.
Yeah.
But the longer I rode it for, took it down a decent set of roads.
Yeah, you fell in love, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did. I think it's going to cost me money in the long run.
What I noticed, as soon as I sat on this new one, compared to what I remember of your one, of the one, your model, is this one you sit much lower into it. You feel more part of the bike.
Yeah, definitely. And there's I believe there's a lot more wind protection as well.
Yeah, and I find, to me anyway, in my head, this just feels more flickable, a little bit more lively. I feel like it's got better fueling.
Yeah, I'm not with the fueling. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's probably improved. It's a newer bike.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like night and day between the two models.
Yeah, get you.
When I rode the newer version, I felt the need going through the lanes that I was going to start to hang off of it. Yeah, because it turns in so much better. Yeah. That it sort of entices you to get in further. Yeah. To the bend. Where with this, it's more. It handles just as well, but in a different way. You have to more manhandle this.
What I like about this new one is that it is so adjustable. You can really tailor it to how you are personally, how you ride, how you like a bike to turn in. You can adjust the suspension completely. You can adjust the throttle response and the engine modes. You can customize all them. You can even adjust the preload adjuster in the rear shock to tip the bike further, you know, bring the arse of the bike up.
And with this you're stuck with your generic 3 modes range, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's maybe what I'll miss when I get back on the tractor.
Yeah, because is that the same, is it?
With the tractor, yeah, you've got your different engine modes, you know, dynamic, road, rain, and is it rally, off-road, whatever they call it?
Yeah, off-road. But
then for suspension they've got auto, then you can put it as soft or very hard. You know, that's about it. Yeah,
with the newer model as well, obviously you only get a small test ride when you get it from a dealer. I could probably spend more time in the modes, setting it up just how I like it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Rather than finding one that's near enough that you like it and then riding to it. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Oh blimey, fuel lights come on this, saying I've got 40 miles.
If you run out, I'll leave you behind.
Top Gear rules.
Nationals?
No. What is it?
Nationals!
Nationals! That's fourth gear. Fourth gear from 30 mile an hour. It's crazy. These engines are just superb.
To be honest with you, I never thought I'd have an adventure bike, but now I wouldn't be with that one.
I'm the same, mate. Yeah, for road riding, I just don't see any point in getting anything other than an adventure bike.
No.
Certainly here in the UK. The roads are that crap most of the time, but it's service-wise.
And on these twisty ones, it's all you need.
Yeah.
It's all you need.
Yeah, okay, it's not got the insane top end of a sports bike, but jeez, it'll still get you to triple digits quicker than anything.
The punch out of the corners is mega.
Yeah, I love it. So, I think the important question, Matt, when are you buying a new one?
When you give me some money, mate.
Would you? Like, with your own money, do you think there's a big enough difference between the previous generation and this latest one?
There is a huge difference, but then what mine is probably worth now, trade in, it's going to take me a lot of thought, really, to see if I can justify the extra money for it.
I know what that means, Matt. I'm not your missus. I know what that means. They're doing £1,000 off, actually, apparently.
Are they really?
Apparently they're doing some big deals.
Hold on!
These bikes just make you, don't they? They just make you smile. Oh God, I'm talking myself into it.
Well, actually, that is the question, Bruce. Would it drag you away from the GS?
In terms of rider enjoyment, like the dangly tickle ability of it, this is head and shoulders above the BMW, head and shoulders above the GS. It's fun to ride, it's engaging, I think it's more agile, it's more dynamic, you know, it's got more punch out the corners, it's got more top end, it'll accelerate faster and further through the rev range of every gear. The engine on this is just superb, but, and this is the one thing that's holding me back at the moment on pulling the plug, the reliability. I've had a couple of electrical issues on this bike even in the 2 weeks I've had it. You know, it raised its head today, didn't it?
Yeah.
The preload adjuster, this keeps coming up. We changed the battery and it's still coming up. It's sort of my main issue with KTM, just the reliability of it, sadly. They've definitely not got rid of those gremlins, and that's my main point, that you're going to have issues with bikes. If you ride bikes fairly often, you're going to have issues at times. I've not got a problem with that. For me, it's how the bike is dealt with, how the issue is dealt with, and it's just the dealer network that sort of is there to back up any issues that you have. If you find a good dealership, then happy days, you're doing well, but it is pot luck as to whether or not you get a good dealership or not. Whereas with BMW, that sort of corporate brand is the same worldwide almost, wherever you go.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I don't know many other KTM owners. The dealer that I bought my bike from he's no longer a KTM dealer.
Yeah.
And the guys I take to now are at Braintree, Jim Haynes. They've been fantastic with me.
But to the same extent, it's the what if scenario, isn't it? You know, you could have it and have no issues at all. And it's such a fun bike to ride. I
think it is luck of the draw. I think, to be honest, a lot of people said to me, "You're going to buy a KTM? Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
I paid my money. I've got what I've got. I don't love this bike.
You've had issues, haven't you?
I've had an issue with the shock. It was done under warranty. But other than that, the bike's been spot on. You get the odd post where you go to fire it up, and I don't know if that's just me not pressing the button properly and things like that. But I'd jump on this tomorrow and drive it across Europe. I wouldn't care. Do you know what I mean? And I think it is just luck of the draw with any brand, BMW, KTM,
yeah, definitely.
Whatever it is. Sometimes you do, unfortunately, just get that Friday bike, and then
you get the Friday afternoon bike, don't you?
Yeah, and then that's what you're left with.
I can't honestly say I will not leave the GS. I'm sorely tempted. I'm kind of hoping that when I take this back tomorrow and I swing my leg over the tractor again, it'll be I'm home, I remember what now I went for this. I'm genuinely disappointed this is going back now. I love it. I genuinely love this bike. It is a hoot. We'll see, mate, we'll see. Come for a ride in Essex, he said. Are we in Essex anymore? Oh no. Where are you taking me? Oh my god. 3 feet. 2 feet. Oh. I forgot about that. They're not waterproof.
If we make it, I'll ride round me.
The things I do for entertainment. I need a pee. Right, I'm buggered if I'm going to stand up. Right. Oh Jesus! You know, well, it's proper deep.
Jeez, that man.
It's deep and it's blooming sludgy and slidey. Oh my god.
Right, I'm riding round, I'm not coming through that.
My boots are not waterproof anymore.
So folks, as we can see, this bike is pretty damn special. It genuinely is. For me personally, there's no competition. That bike is definitely the better experience to ride. It's more fun, it's more agile, there's definitely more poke, there's definitely more power. I don't think it is as comfortable in the riding position as the tractor is. The seat, definitely, after about an hour, my arse is feeling it. Tractor I can sit on all day. You can get the comfort seat in the power parts, but again, if you're going to compare standard for standard, you can get a comfier seat for the GS as well if you wanted. So standard seat, the GS wins. For me, it's going to come down to reliability and the dealer network. I have had some issues over the last 2 weeks with some of the electronics, nothing major, nothing that stopped me from riding, but it was stuff that if it was my own bike, I'd have to get rectified. In gee whiz, what, 4 years of owning 5 years of owning 2 or 3 different BMWs, doing over 100,000 miles, probably about 120,000 miles on the GS. I think once I've had to take it back to the dealer to get something sorted, and it was sorted straight away. I'm pretty positive I wouldn't have the same experience with the KTM. If you're after an adventure bike that will allow you to ride any type of road, whether that's motorway, fast road, backcountry B road, lanes, green lanes, off-roading, it'll handle absolutely anything and it will tickle your danglies till the cows come home, then the brand new KTM 1290 Super Adventure S is definitely the bike for you. Anyway folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep on doing your thing. Remember to look after those that you love. Get on out there and live your life. Woo-ha!
Still good to be home, folks. I've got to say, it is good to be back. Oh my god, this is snow. It's hailstones. What is going on? Are you recording?
Here we go. Fair play, that man. Right, I'm riding round, I'm not coming through that.
Are we going Team Orange?
What's that mean?
Do I get one of these and trade in the BMW?
Nah. You do as you want anyway.
Yes, dear.